Welcome to the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Iowa State making its first appearance in a New Year's Six bowl game. The Cyclones coming off their most successful regular season in school history.
This has been a really special season for our program. We've never let one game define who we are.
Iowa State ranked 10th. College football playoff rankings was up to number 6 at one point before losing to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. The opponent today, the Oregon Ducks, the champs of the Pac-12 conference for the second straight year. It was an unprecedented path, to say the least, to get to this point for Oregon, replacing Washington, which had COVID issues. But the Ducks certainly won't apologize, and they won the one game they had to.
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
This had to be a physical game. We had to play our kind of football, and tremendous credit goes to these football players.
We fought this year, so many trials and tribulations, we didn't even flinch. Got it done.
Oregon won the Rose Bowl game last year and now looks to capture the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl for the third time. And welcome to the booth. I'm Dave Pasch alongside Mike Golick. Happy New Year. A lot of firsts today, Mike. You and I have worked together all year. This is the first time we've actually been in the same room.
No idea what you look like until just now.
This is also not a mirage in front of us. We're not in the studio. We can actually watch the game here in person. First time for Iowa State in the Fiesta Bowl. First time in a New Year's Six Bowl. Meanwhile, for Oregon, Mike, this is old hat. They've been in games like this, but it's the first time under these circumstances where they don't win their division, but they win their conference.
So we saw the end. You just saw what they did at the end. Let's go back to the beginning. When the Pac-12 decided to play, they had a lot of opt-outs, including the best left tackle in the game. Their secondary was decimated. All they did, they won their first 3 games with the youngest team in the country. They lost their last 2, but then found their way to that Pac-12 championship game, and they took care of business. They peaked at the right time. Their reward, a trip to Glendale, Arizona to play in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl against the Iowa State Cyclones. Head coach Matt Campbell has built an incredible program here. This year, 9 first-team all-conference players, 4 AP All-Americans, the winningest senior class of all time at Iowa State, Defensive Player of the Year in linebacker Mike Rose, Coach of the Year in Matt Campbell in the conference, and then you have Breece Hall, 6th in the Heisman, AP first-team All-American, Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. He has done it all, and he is fun to watch.
Also today, Mike, a homecoming for the 2 starting quarterbacks. Brock Purdy of Iowa State is from Gilbert, went to Perry High School. Tyler Shough of Oregon is from Chandler. He attended Hamilton High School. These guys have known each other forever. They played baseball together back in 2013, part of the Chandler Reds. They work out together in the offseason, including back in April. And with more on their story, here's Quinn Kesnick.
Well, when you talk to Brock Purdy, he'll tell you that he's been watching this game since he was a 6-year-old. And driving in the bus today, said to me that he got goosebumps. When you watch him warm up, he certainly is excited. For Tyler Shough, this homecoming may be more significant. When he was 6, his mom, Dana, was diagnosed with cancer. She had surgery, chemo, rehab, and for the last 16 years, she has been in remission. Today is the first time she will watch her son, Tyler, start in a college football game. A homecoming, a dream fulfilled for the Shoughs.
He replaced Justin Herbert this year, who was the number 6 pick in the NFL draft by the Chargers, and just set the NFL rookie record for passing touchdowns in a single season. Oregon won the toss, deferred its selection, so it will kick to Iowa State. Kene Nwangu is the heart and soul of this Iowa State team. He is deep, along with Jirel Brock. The 50th Fiesta Bowl is underway. It'll be a touchback, and we'll come out to the 25 for Iowa State.
I think it's going to be pretty easy to see who these guys are going to be and what they can do on the field. As I just mentioned, Breece Hall and everything he does running the ball, and on defense for Oregon, Kayvon Thibodeau. What a freak athlete he is. 3rd-team AP All-American, great edge rusher. But the leading tackler for Oregon has 38 tackles. Dave, he has 32. He can play the run as well. So be very interesting, especially on plays away with Breece Hall running to try and see him chase it down on the backside.
Thibodeau absolutely wrecked the Pac-12 championship game, winning MVP in that victory against USC. So out of the pistol here, on 1st and 10 from the Iowa State 25-yard line. Purdy off play action, dumps it off, and it's a first down for Akers, and it's fitting in Iowa State's initial New Year's Six game that the 6th-year player, Landon Akers, one of the key guys on this team, gets the first down.
Everybody got their eyes on Breece Hall. You see the whole defense moving that way. Landon said, that's cool. Keep an eye on him. I'm going to be out here all by myself. Get the first play of this Fiesta Bowl.
Here's Brock Purdy with the pitch to Hall, and a ton of running room off that right side for Hall. It's a gain of 9. A junior, just turned 21 years old. Set a ton of records this year at Iowa State. Had some late interceptions, though, that really hurt in the Oklahoma game.
Yeah, you know, he's shown flashes. Coming into this year, I had him ranked really high. Struggled in that first game against Louisiana. The whole team did as a loss. And he's been a little up and down. His highs are very high, though, and I'm sure they're looking for that today. But he did have a little bit of struggle at points during the year.
Purdy will throw it here, and tackle to the backfield is Dylan Sainer. And there is the true freshman Noah Sewell, the leading tackler. That's Penei Sewell's brother. You talked about Penei, the outstanding tackler who opted out.
250-pound true freshman matched up against these tight ends for Iowa State that we'll talk about. It's a heck of an open field tackle there to make it 3rd and short. Some great matchups to watch. 3rd and short here. Watch for the tight ends. You'll see this team more than any other will have 3 tight ends in the game. 2 to 3 tight ends almost every play.
That's one of them. Charlie Kolar might be the best in motion to the far side as the pass is caught, and it's a first down to the 46 of Oregon.
The receiving height edge over the secondary edge for Oregon is something to keep an eye on all day. You'll see, like basketball players on these shorter routes, they do like boxing out on the shorter ones, and they'll take their shots over the top. The 50-50 balls for Iowa State with the size of the receivers are like a 70-30 ball.
Gonna run it. Nwongu straight ahead, pushes the pile down to the 42-yard line for a gain of 4 on the play.
I mean, the monstrous players like Drake Milton got in there at 5'11", and the average Oregon for the DBs is 6 foot. So a lot of times when they look covered down the field, especially on the long routes, Purdy's going to throw it up because he trusts his guys are going to be able to go get that ball over the shorter defensive player. 3 tight ends in again.
Play action here. Purdy in trouble, steps up and takes off. And Purdy's got the first down inside the 35-yard line. That's a 10-yard run for Purdy, who did have 4 rushing touchdowns during the season.
78 runs for 343 yards. He can run just enough to be dangerous. A big drop by the linebackers for Oregon. He saw all that room and said he could make something of it, and he did. Moves the chains.
Breece Hall back on the field. He's going to get the carry here, bouncing it to the outside. And pushed out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That's a 5-yard run for the sophomore from Wichita, Kansas. Consensus All-American, the 4th in school history, and the 1st since Troy Davis 20 years ago.
6'7", 272, number 89, Dylan Sainer there, just making the defender disappear and giving Breece Hall the edge.
Purdy on the half roll, and he was trying to hit Sainer, couldn't hang on to it. And you saw that shot of Matt Campbell, now in his 5th year, Big 12 Coach of the Year for the 3rd time. Could this be his last game at Iowa State? Got a lot of interest, not only collegiately, but from the NFL. 3rd down and 5. Swing pass here. Broken tackle and a first down inside the 20-yard line. Xavier Hutchinson, their leading receiver. That's his 61st catch of the year. He had 10 grabs in the Big 12 title game.
Again, good offensive play, but the defender is right there. Beats the block of Sainer, but misses the tackle. 1st and 10. Got to make that play.
In the red zone now, here's Hall. Inside the 10, dragged down at the 8, maybe a touchdown saving tackle that time.
Think about Hall. This play is supposed to go right. He starts it right, sees everybody going to the right, and then finds a hole to the left. Excellent block there by Xavier Hutchinson to pin his guy to the outside. He just cuts right underneath. Breece Hall's vision is, and his vision and how quickly he can make the decision on where he wants to go, really one of his strong points.
So they're a yard short of the line to gain here inside the Oregon 10 on the opening possession of the day. All going to be close to the first down. They're going to spot him short. It'll be 3rd down and inches here. And Oregon's got 10 in the box here. Hall able to get the first down, though.
Iowa State as a kid, and now here he is. People are selling programs in the stadium with his name in it. Very cool.
Hall tripped up. Ducks were here 8 years ago, beat Kansas State. Marcus Mariota, the quarterback. Here's Purdy off play action, and the pass is caught at the 1. Unable to get into the end zone was Kolar, though.
Nice tackle by Jabal Hill. Again, you're going to the big tight end. 272 pounds, and here's Hill, who missed that tackle earlier in the drive. Doesn't miss it there. Excellent job wrapping up and forcing him out of bounds.
3rd down and goal for Iowa State.
You're going to get a motion in here and a nice run with Hall.
And Hall walks in. Touchdown, Iowa State. Great opening possession for the Cyclones.
Excellent drive for Iowa State. Jared Rush was split out. He wasn't going to stay split out. He's going to motion in and be the lead blocker, try and kick out. Doesn't even really need it. There is a hole right in the middle.
So the 20th rushing touchdown for Breece Hall, 22nd overall, as the extra point makes it 7-0. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, his season is over with Clemson falling to Ohio State last night. Justin Fields went off, 6 touchdown passes for the Buckeyes, and they pop it up here. And the fair catch made at the 27-yard line by a tight end, DJ Johnson. So Tyler Shough will take the field for the Ducks when we come back. You're watching the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. So Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank from Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart, they're all here. No fans in attendance, but a lot of the PlayStation characters in the stands joining us today for the 50th PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
Well, that's what the Iowa State did, nothing out of the ordinary, and that's what Andy Avalos, the D coordinator of Oregon, is going to say to his defense. Guys, they're running exactly what we worked on. Settle down. Now let's see Oregon run what they run.
Tyler Shough, sophomore from Chandler, Arizona, about 45 minutes from the stadium. And he will run it here on 1st down, and he's going to get dropped for a loss of 1 by Orion Vance. The coaches want the swagger and confidence that Shough showed earlier in the season back, because it was Anthony Brown, the transfer from Boston College, that played really well against USC in the Pac-12 championship game. Shough was up and down in that game, so we could see a lot of Brown depending on how things go. 2nd down and 11. Shough's first throw of the game is low, but the catch is made by Micah Pittman at the 37-yard line. 1st down.
Yeah, more to your point, just what the coaches said. Just let it go. Just don't. You know, a lot of times you get a grad transfer coming in. Now you won the starting job, but you know, are you feeling a pressure like if you have to play perfectly to not have the backup come in, the kid who transferred in? They just want to play free and easy.
They want Shough to just chuck.
There you go.
And throw it around. He'll keep it here on the quarterback run past the 40 and out near the 42. Mario Cristobal, 3rd year as the Oregon head coach, just signed a huge extension. Shough to the air again, going to dump it off here to Travis Dye, and Dye into Iowa State territory. All the way to the 40-yard line for 18 yards.
Excellent job by the old lineman. Ryan walked the guard. Alex Forsythe at center. Watch these guys out in space. Big guys out in space, getting on blocks, staying on blocks. It's impressive when the big guys go out on screens and they can stay up and not just throw at the legs and keep their feet moving.
Travis Dye will get a lot of work today. C.J. Verdell, a 1,200-yard back a year ago. He's been bothered with a hand injury, will not play. Shough's pass caught by Pittman, able to stiff-arm the defender and get the 1st down to the 29. Gain of 11. Oregon is inside the 30 here.
Well, I'm going to do it because you did. Shough is chucking.
There's C.J. Verdell, got a hand injury. Missed the Pac-12 title game, but they like Travis Dye. Also, Sean Dollar's a freshman. He had a good game against USC, rushed for over 50 yards. We'll see him as well. Big hole for Dye up the middle. Inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal after a 24-yard run for Travis Dye.
Camp Moyer, number 48. Watch this block. He is just going to destroy in here to set up for this run. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that was a fantastic block of Orion Vance, unfortunately on the receiving end of that one. Great job by Camp Moyer, a former D lineman, now playing tight end.
Anthony Brown is in at quarterback right now for Oregon, but I just love the joy in your voice of what happens in the meat grinder there in the offensive line. Brown going to keep it, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. He scored twice against USC. A touchdown pass on his first play of that game, a touchdown run on his first play of this one.
This is what defensive coordinator John Haycock talks about the offenses of today. He still calls it kind of the old-fashioned triple option, but it's an option with a pass, not your normal fullback to pitchman, which you can see, but it's also could be a running back, and then you see him just kind of shuffling out, and he has the receiver out there to throw to as one of the options, but he had a clear hole for the end zone.
Brown started 28 games at Boston College, but had 2 seasons cut short by injury before transferring to Oregon. Game is tied at 7.
What an answer by Oregon after Iowa State drives down the field. Oregon does the exact same thing. Huge run up the middle by Dye. And then the red zone quarterback Anthony Brown comes in. He has an option, and his option is, I'm going to go straight ahead to Pager.
On the return past the 20-yard line, makes a nice move and is out across the 30. The 2 starting quarterbacks in this game have been friends for a long time. Brock Purdy, who attended Perry High School, Tyler Shough, Hamilton High School, and Chandler. They met 4 times on the football field in high school. This game in October of 2017 was a 65-63 final score, with Purdy's team winning. Purdy threw for 380 yards in that game, rushed for 166. These guys played baseball together growing up. They have the same quarterback coach here in Arizona. They work out together in the off season. They're the same age.
That's
and
pretty
both
cool
players
thing.
off to a good start.
Pretty cool thing, hanging out in the offseason the way they do, as you mentioned, working out together. You sounded a little too giddy with that score, though. As a former defensive player, nah. Not so much.
Well, we're headed for high scoring so far here. Each team with an opening drive touchdown to start this game. Second possession for Iowa State from the 31-yard line, and they're going to run it again here. Breece Hall out to the 34, so it's a gain of 3 brought down by Isaac Slade.
The ordinary. There were no trick plays. They've done everything that we've practiced for. Now we just have to go out and execute and play our when you have your man-to-man situation, win it. Get off your blocks, make the tackles.
They run Hall up the middle once again. Another 2 or 3 yard pickup, putting Iowa State in third down.
Use leverage. You know, not every bigger person blocks the smaller person. Use your hands, use your leverage, dip your shoulder. You find a way to beat that block and make that tackle.
Iowa State 4 of 4 on third down. Some movement up front.
False start. 64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So Kayvon Thibodeau, a guy who had 11 pressures, number 5 for Oregon, 11 pressures in the Pac-12 championship game. This is really kind of the first play where you're pretty sure this is going to be a straight drop back pass, and just let him go and see what happens.
2 years ago, Thibodeau, the #1 overall high school prospect in America. Purdy. The pass is caught close to the first down is Kolar. Let's see where they spot the ball. Forward progress is enough to move the stick. So they pick up third down and 9, a gain of 10 out to the 42.
So they help on Thibodeau with the left guard, and then the route is just a simple route. You need 9 yards. You're going to see Kolar go 10 yards. That's all you're going to see. That's what they just want to move the chains. 10 yards, wall everybody off, put the ball up where he gets it, and just move the sticks.
Purdy 6 of 7, 45 yards passing so far. Breece Hall 34 rushing yards and a touchdown. Here's Nwangu, the backup tailback, and he's going to lose yardage. The Ducks defensive line all over that one. Sewell came out of there with the ball, but they ruled that the runner was down. It'll be 2nd and 11.
So already some of the inside plays that worked on the first drive for Iowa State. Oregon doing a better job. So, and again, we saw Sewell come out with the ball. Did the ball come out?
I think the whistle blew.
Yeah, I think so as well. He was going backward. So the ball did come out, but he was going backward, and the whistle was blowing.
Four-man rush for the Ducks. Purdy's pass in traffic, and is it caught?
How did he?
What a call to the Ducks.
Oregon ran a tackle end stunt. The end came underneath and was going right to the face of Purdy. He just kind of backed away and threw the ball. What a great catch.
Here's Hall running left, and he's cut down. Purdy off play action, and wide open as Sainer, and he's down to the 35-yard line. First quarter in the books. A quick one here in Glendale. Start of the second quarter. Here's Purdy keeping it, and Pickett drags him down at the 31-yard line. So whether it's guys that, it all started with the Bill Belichick tree. Saban going back to being a D court for him with the Cleveland Browns. Hall running off the left side, going to come up a yard short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Again, it's Pickett on the tackle for Oregon.
I can't stress enough when you watch Hall run, and his O-linemen have to love him, and they'll love him at the next level as well, because he does a great job. And this time it was not only the O-lineman, but Kolar, the tight end as well, who led. He just tucks in behind, and I'll keep using the word, I'm sure I'll overuse it, it's what I do, patience. He's so patient and waits for that little crack in the defense and then makes that move.
So 3rd down and 1 here. Hall, boy, I think he got it with the ball there just at the last second. We'll see where they spot it. Might be 4th down. Just to finish up on the Saban stuff, it is going to be 4th down. Mario Cristobal, the head coach at Oregon, he was with Nick Saban in Alabama for a little bit, then came out to Oregon with Willie Taggart. When Taggart got the Florida State job, Cristobal was named the interim coach right before the Las Vegas Bowl, ended up getting the head job, and they signed a huge contract to stay. There were rumors out there about maybe Auburn, some other places where there was interest. Iowa State 4th down and inches going for it here. Breece Hall gets the 1st down and more. 19. So they get 7 yards there on 4th down and 1.
So you get 5 O-linemen, 3 monstrous tight ends. It really gives Breece Hall kind of his choice on where he wants to go. He knows he only needs a yard, not going to get a lot. He knows he's not going to get all the way to the end zone, just enough to move the chains.
Purdy keeps it here, and he's down about the 15-yard line. 28th play already that Iowa State's run. Oregon's run 7, but they've only had the ball once. Hall trying to pick a hole. It's not there. Stood up and pushed back after a gain of maybe 1. Barone McKinley is coached by his dad in high school. Bright young man. We talked to him for about 15 minutes last night. He made the stick there.
Love that kid. Wow. He goes on Twitter on Sunday games and breaks down plays that are going on. I said, so is your route college, NFL, and then in the broadcasting business? He's like, yes, sir. And he called me sir, which made me feel really old, because he said he watched, he said when he was in middle school, which again made me feel old. But what a special young man he is.
3rd down and 5. Here comes Thibodeau. Purdy throws a pass wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. Kolar somehow got away from all the Ducks DBs.
Purdy family is very, very happy on that one. And listen, that was just a flat-out busted coverage. Nobody is going to be that wide open. Thibodeau was getting a rush off the left side of the defense that time to put some pressure on Purdy. But a busted coverage of Kolar wide open.
And Charlie Kolar with his 7th receiving touchdown this season. Connor Assalley puts it through. 14-7 Iowa State. So it's Brock Purdy back home, the Gilbert native, playing in front of fans, friends and family members today with the touchdown pass to give Iowa State a 7-point lead early in the second. Iowa State has run 29 plays, scoring drives of 15 and 14 plays engineered by Brock Purdy. Kolar with a touchdown in the last possession. Let's see what they do here. Another short kickoff taken on the 10-yard line. Chris Hudson, and he stopped short of the 25. So we take a look at our protection spotlight, brought to you by Allstate.
This blows my mind. Oregon last year at the end of the season, 223 starts. That was the most in all FBS. everybody's gone. Now, Penei Sewell could have been here, the best left tackle in the game. He opted out. Only one start coming into this year, and that was from Stephen Jones, and that start was in 2018. All 5 linemen are new starters this year, and kudos, TJ Bass, Alex Forsythe, the left guard and center, honorable mention Pac-12, and the right tackle was honorable mention Pac-12 as well. I'm sorry, Forsythe was a second teamer. So 3 guys making the conference team.
Here's a jet sweep. That might have ended up being a pass. Pittman is dropped back at the 17-yard line by Lawrence White. So that play loses about 10 yards. So the offensive line didn't do a great job there. But Mario Cristobal, he's an offensive line coach. That was his position on that Alabama staff in 2016 when they won the national title, by the way, out here in Glendale before he ended up going to Oregon.
The thing about Joe Moorhead, who comes in as the O-coordinator after Mississippi State head coach, he comes in, he's got a new O-line, a new starting quarterback, and then they have no football for a long time.
Dye, and he lost the ball, got knocked out. Iowa State's on it, and the Cyclones come up with a takeaway. Orion Vance has the ball at the 15-yard line. Travis Dye coughs it up, and Iowa State with an opportunity now to go up 2 scores. Jaquan Bailey, All-American DN, knocked it out.
Dye is trying to tell everybody he was down. Now, certainly from the upper body was not down. I couldn't see if a knee was down or not.
Turnovers were a big problem for Oregon. 107th in the country. You see Bailey dragging him down, and then it does look like
definitely was out. Yeah, the knee was not down.
Watch Isheem Young, number 1, come in there with a forearm, and the ball gets popped out.
Oh, that's a great view right there.
Golden opportunity here for the Cyclones. Purdy off play action, rolls right, end zone pass, big hit, knocks the ball out, incomplete. Mikhail Wright dislodging it from Joe Skates in the end zone.
Mikhail Wright with the hit, a nice throw by Purdy. Looks to be on the spot, but Mikhail Wright comes in with the shoulder. Great hit. That's the old term we used to use all the time, separate man from ball. And that's exactly what Wright did.
Purdy's going to give it to Breece Hall here. Wrapped up by Sewell, Noah Sewell. He makes the stop at the 17.
Noah Sewell with that tackle. The freshman spent the last series in the tent having his left ankle or foot retaped. Came out of the tent, put his thumb up, and he's back in there. This is a young player who's going to be a star. He's a monster. He's still learning in doses. The Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. One of 4 brothers to play college football.
And obviously Penei is the other one. They are from American Samoa, moved to Utah in 2012. 3rd down and 7 here. It's a big down for the defense for Oregon. Purdy's pass is caught inside the 10 as Hall goes over the top and comes up just short. We'll see if Iowa State goes for it here on 4th down and inches. They converted on a 4th down earlier in the ball game. Breece Hall straight ahead, and he's got it. Design quarterback run for Purdy, and he gets pushed back by Mace Foon. Got a face full of mace there, right to the point of attack. Big hit on the quarterback. Oregon defense has done much better against the run the last couple games, and this is just their 7th game this year. Won the Pac-12 title. Purdy, pump fake, gets around the defender Thibodeau, now throws back in the end zone. 2 Cyclones are over there. It's incomplete now for Iowa State.
Well, Purdy bought himself some time. D lineman, you're kind of taught not to jump. Well, let's look at the end first. Yeah, he's definitely out of bounds with that right foot, but he bought himself time to do it by getting Kayvon Thibodeau to jump in the air. It's a good call, official, right there.
3rd down and goal from the 5. Purdy to the air. Caught at the 1.
Short.
Did not get in.
Tried to clear everybody out and just dump it to Hall. Good recognition. 4 defenders right there on the goal line. Didn't let him get through. So again, you see 43. Jared Russ is going to line up out to the left, and he'll motion in. And he'll be a kick-out guy unless they keep him in motion and maybe throw the outlet pass to him. Nope, he's blocking. Whoa.
Hall hit at the one and didn't get in. Oregon's defensive line got off some blocks. Brandon Dorless, Slade. Oregon with a huge stop on the goal line.
So, something I got to do a whole lot as a former D lineman. In that situation, what you're taught to do is make a pile. Big guys up front, go down low, make a pile. Let your linebackers come over the top and make a play. You had guys coming from the outside there. They made a new line of scrimmage, a yard back. Breece Hall had nowhere to go. Great stop by Oregon. They were put in conflict with the turnover. The defense steps up.
PlayStation Fiesta Bowl that started 50 years ago because Arizona State kept getting left out of other bowl games. So they just started the Fiesta Bowl. Arizona State played in the first 3.
One way to do it.
8 national championship games. Oregon played in one of those national title games against Auburn here in Glendale and lost to Cam Newton. So Oregon takes over inside the 1, and Anthony Brown, who scored the touchdown, is in the game at quarterback. He's going to throw it here, and it's over the head of the intended target, Hunter Kampmoyer. Incomplete. Some pushing and shoving afterwards as Johnny Johnson hits Anthony Johnson.
So let's go back to the goal line play here and watch the right guard in Daryl Simmons on number 50, Popo Amavai. Amavai just gets right underneath him, makes a fantastic play, redistributing him in the backfield to help make the play.
Another pass play out of the end zone, and that's a strike. Johnson on the catch. So it's a first down for the Ducks.
And then when that happens to you, this is what happens on the sideline. You get an earful from the coach. Simmons knows that he knew it as soon as the play was going on, and the defender got underneath him and took him into the backfield. It's a You just know it. I mean, again, the coach is going to obviously critique you and get on you for it in the moment, but nobody knows it more than the player when it happened.
Only the 12th play run by Oregon. They've had the ball for 4.5 minutes. Brown back to throw, and another strike. Out past the 30 is Kampmoyer. How about the decision by the Oregon coaching staff to go to the veteran Anthony Brown with the Ducks backed up and then keep him in the game for the rest of the drive?
And they went in with it. We knew he was going to be the red zone quarterback, but they also said they thought the beginning of the second quarter, you know, their first drive in the second quarter, that he was going to get the call. And even though it was on the 1 yard line, they had confidence enough in him to do it, and he certainly got him on that hole.
Right, so part of the plan, but still where he is in the field.
Right.
But look, the guy started a ton of games at Boston College, so this is the first year that Shough has started. Off the fingertips there of Johnson.
So again, for those who may not know Anthony Brown, 3 years he started at Boston College, 40 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. At the end of the 17 season and the 19 season, he was hurt toward the end of those seasons and missed the end of those years. Grad transfer, came to Oregon, never saw the field until the Pac-12 championship game and threw those couple of touchdowns, and now going to get more time today, it looks like.
They'll throw it here on 2nd down and 10, and it's pulled in close to the line to gain. Jalen Redd on the catch. He did not play in the Rose Bowl last year because of personal reasons. It is a first down for Oregon. He's 3 of 5 passing. Shough was 3 of 3. Gonna run it here. Dye able to make a man miss. And thrown out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Travis Dye, who fumbled the ball deep in Oregon territory on that last possession.
Watch his move. Ryan Vance is right there to make the play, 34. Again, defense called right there to make the play, and it was the skill of the offensive player, in this case Travis Dye, making that juke move to get the extra yards.
From the 41 of Iowa State, Brown to the air. All day to throw, and the catch is made along the sideline by Devin Williams inside the 30-yard line. Well, you mentioned that Anthony Brown did not play until the Pac-12 championship game. He throws a touchdown pass his very first attempt to Jalen Redd. He had 2 touchdowns in that game as Oregon won to get to the Fiesta Bowl for the 3rd time. And again, they were the replacement for Washington, which had COVID issues. Oregon finished 2nd in its division. Play action here. Brown being chased, throws back across the middle to Pittman, and Micah Pittman landed on a player, so he's still alive there and able to crawl to the 16-yard line and get the first down.
Boy, that was something. He had A, space to run, B, a short receiver he could have thrown to, had space to run, but he waited to go down the field a little more, and as I said, rolling right and just rifled the ball.
And Micah Pittman, whose dad Michael played a long time in Arizona for the Cardinals. Also, brother Michael, who played at USC and now with the Colts.
A rookie there, I believe.
So Brown staying on the field at quarterback. He'll keep it here inside the 5, into the end zone for the second time. Touchdown. Ducks a chance to tie it with the point after.
Your 3 guys inside: Ryan Walk, Alex Forsythe, TJ Bass, the center, and 2 guards. Look at that. Watch these 3 in here. Clear it out. Excellent job. What a great job. And then George Moore, the left tackle, turning back to make sure he kept his defender walled off. Well done by that O-line. That inexperienced offensive line at the beginning of the season.
The stop on the goal line on 4th down for Iowa State, and then they go down the field, literally the length of the field, and tie the game with the point after. Tyler Shough started the game at quarterback. Anthony Brown, though, has scored 2 rushing touchdowns. And because everybody can come back in college football, it'll be interesting with the Justin Herbert holding down the job for 4 years and then Shough winning it in obviously a shortened camp.
Right.
What'll happen next year? Short kickoff, but the fair catch signal it's made at the 17-yard. Did your career start out, your broadcasting career post NFL start out?
I was doing some ESPN stuff, but I was doing local radio here, KGME radio. Me and my Bruce Jacobs was my partner. That's where I started.
Purdy steps away from trouble, and Purdy has the first down and more. Hit as he was sliding, and a flag comes down.
So you're chasing from the side and behind. He breaks to you, and you drop your head down.
Might be targeting, too. Led with the crown of the helmet, it looked like.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness on the defense with targeting, number 41. Penalty is 15 yards added to the end of the run. The previous play is under further review.
So replay has confirmed the targeting on Slade-Matautia. So it's bringing Rogers Redding, our rules analyst. Rogers, did you agree with the call?
This is a good call. First of all, the ball carrier is defenseless when he goes down like that. So this is targeting on really 2 counts. One is a forcible attack to the head and neck area, and also he led with the crown of the helmet. So either of the 2 targeting rules would come into play here. So that's a good call, and I'm glad the replay confirmed it.
You know, in this situation, again, you see him break back. That he's trailing. Purdy breaks back for him, so he dives in. By rule, it's absolutely the correct call, but I will continue to say I do not like players getting tossed out of the game. 15 yards, I do not think they should be thrown.
Purdy taking a shot down the field. It's caught inside the 20-yard line by Hutchinson. DJ James in coverage, and a huge play down inside the 15.
Thibodeau got his first good rush for Oregon. Purdy takes a hit, but just a straight shot. I said they love to take their shots. Hutchinson 6'3".
Breece Hall trying to get outside, hand fighting with James. 2nd down and 3. Breece Hall, 18 carries already here in the first half for the nation's leading rusher. Hall will get it again and pushes the pile to the first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5.
You know, they can almost, Dave, line up and say, this is where we're going to run as they're going up tempo here. 2 tight ends to the same side, run right over them in the tackle.
It's Hall again, waiting for that hole to open. Hall powers his way to the goal line. He is just short.
So we saw Oregon start to get off blocks a little better here. Iowa State staying on their blocks. Look at the leg drive here. And then obviously the push from the offensive players as well, but Hall keeping his balance.
Oregon called a timeout. They want to have some time left for the offense.
Right.
But I thought the ball got across there unless they blew it dead.
It's a nice scrum in there. But again, Hall, great balance, great leg drive. So here you go over your tight ends and your left tackle. I think his knee went down. Couldn't tell. Let's look at this view. His right knee, I believe, hits the ground before he's in.
Let's watch the ball too.
See, the knee is down there.
Yeah, look where the ball is.
Yeah,
isn't it right?
It might be. It was close.
Again, it's important. Iowa State got stopped down here last time on the goal line. Purdy fakes the pass and gets in the end zone for the touchdown.
This time Purdy pulls the ball, puts a fake on Mace Funa a bit. Number 47 out here like he's going to throw. Mace goes up just a hair and gives Brock just the room he needs to get in the end zone.
So Brock Purdy with a passing touchdown and now a rushing touchdown, his 5th rushing score of the year, and Iowa State back in front. And the point after makes it 21-14. Over the head of Johnson. That's a live ball. Iowa State had the first crack at it, and the Cyclones got it inside the 30-yard line. DJ Johnson was trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. He actually did that earlier, but couldn't come up with that one. It was kicked perfectly and recovered by Iowa State.
The thing that helped Iowa State here, watch the ball. It draws back like a golf shot. It hit and bounces backward. That's what gave Iowa State the shot at the ball. If that would have just did that forward roll, it probably would have gone out of bounds. But it sticks and goes backward. And then great pursuit by Iowa State. As you mentioned, you saw he did that before, the over-the-shoulder catch. You had to recognize it was coming. And that was a great kick because it made the receiver try and go backward to catch the ball, which he obviously had an issue. It doesn't, so we'll start there. It does not have to be touched by the receiving team once it goes 10 yards.
I think they also want to look too, does Walling go out of bounds here? Does Johnson touch it while he's out of bounds? And then I don't think Walling ever went out of bounds.
I don't think so either.
There was an Iowa State player who did, but it didn't look like he touched the ball. Keep an eye on Johnson here for Oregon. Does he ever touch the ball while he's out of bounds?
No, nope. That ball is in play. I think that's a clean play and going to be Iowa State's ball.
And clearly Walling was in bounds the whole time.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Iowa State.
Mention it. I didn't say who they beat.
You're mentioning it quite a bit, Dave.
Play action here. Purdy as he dumps it off to Chase Allen. Clocked. There you go. I didn't mention again who Alabama beat. Here's Breece Hall. First down and more inside the 10. Heading for the pylon. He kicked the pylon, but he stepped out of bounds first at about the 2-yard line, but it will be first and goal.
Looked like offensively it's going to the left, and then both Hall and Purdy come back to the right. You see everybody stepping left, but that's planned to go back to the right. Purdy was trying out there to get a block, trying to get in front of Breece Hall, and he definitely stepped out 1.5-yard line. Excellent misdirection play for a team that normally Iowa State goes straight ahead. They like to kick out blocks with the tight ends and go straight ahead or right off tackle. That was a nice misdirection play.
Breece Hall, 21 carries, 84 yards and a touchdown. He leads the country in rushing. He's number 2 in rushing touchdowns with 20, and a timeout by Iowa State here.
They're first.
Play clock was at 2.
30-second timeout.
No, first and goal for Iowa State, leading by 7 late in the second quarter. Breece Hall again into the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa State. Little extracurricular activity, but it subsides quickly as Hall hits Paydirt from a yard out.
Oregon had some success stopping that last time around. Straight ahead again, nothing fancy. And that he was hit before the goal line, but just able to drive in. Happy mom.
21 rushing touchdowns now for Breece Hall, and the extra point makes it 28. Let's see if Nettles pops it up again. DJ Johnson is not in there, the guy that
Tyler Nanny now.
But it's kicked deep and taken on the 11-yard line by Hudson. Good coverage though on kickoff there by Iowa State.
You have Anthony Brown back in the game with 1:23 to go in the half.
And Brown to throw, and it's Habibi Likio on the screen. And he's got the first down and more. Hurdles a man and out of bounds near midfield. So a ton of time. They still have 2 timeouts and a gain of about 25 yards there on the first play of the possession.
Likio is a guy they normally see around the red zone here. A nice call with the screen on 1st and 10. Well called, well executed. Getting again the lineman out front. Great position, plenty of time. Oh,
movement though.
That's going to cost him.
77 offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
George Moore.
By the way, I believe it was about 3.5 minutes left when I said it was the fastest half.
Yeah, it slowed down.
Yeah, 35 minutes ago.
Way to jinx us.
Here's Brown to the air again, and a pass that is on target, and what a catch. He got a foot down. Man, Johnny Johnson was getting level, but he stuck that foot down, hit Green before he was knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Wow. I did not think he was going to get a foot down. Oh, that is a toe tapper. What a fantastic job.
I actually think they were more upset that maybe they had something they liked there in terms of a play call, and Jalen Red wasn't set up correctly. A couple players were yelling at each other there. There's a local kid from Chandler.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field was a completion.
Johnson went to Chandler High School.
Came into the game with 110 career catches. That looks like another one to me. I see Green in front of that toe.
Yep.
He's caught a pass in 38 of his 46 games here at Oregon. Let me tell you what, that toe tapper, when you look at that in real speed, that's a man that's taken a dance class or two in his life. That was impressive. Look at that.
And a pretty good throw, too. I mean, again, Tyler Shough went 3 of 3 on that first drive, and Anthony Brown's come on and obviously got the 2 rushing touchdowns, but he's been sharp throwing it, too.
And you're right where he put that ball. He put that ball up high. Either his guy was getting it or nobody was getting it. He's throwing the ball around well.
Called either
After
name.
further review, the ruling of a completion is confirmed. First down, Oregon.
Now they get rid of the ball so quickly, too, right? Braun will take off here, and he's inside the 35. Drags a defender with him down to the 31. That was Mike Rose, outstanding linebacker for Iowa State, but tackle was made 8 yards downfield.
So the clock still runs. Not going to waste a timeout here. I don't think they should. Keep those 2.
Brown will throw it on 2nd and 2, and the pass is caught. It's a first down grab. Kent Moyer. Brown with time, taking a shot downfield where it's caught. Wow. Pittman, touchdown Oregon. Penalty flag in the backfield.
Number 74 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Stephen Jones.
Unfortunately, all for naught. Look at the placement of the ball. Again, there's good coverage there. But you see the throw is going back shoulder and underneath.
So take the points off the board. Now it's 1st and 20 with 38 seconds to go. Still 2 timeouts remaining for Oregon. Brown going downfield. There were 2 receivers in the same spot, Pittman and Cantmoyer.
He had a BB Likio out of the backfield. That's where he should have gone. I mean, wide open. Whenever 2 receivers are going in the same area, as you mentioned, that right there is not supposed to happen.
So 2nd down and 20. Grad transfer quarterback Anthony Brown. The rest of the roster is underclassmen. They've got the youngest team in college football. Pressure coming. Brown gets it away. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Williams wrapped up at the 29. They got to use one of the timeouts here, and they will, stopping the clock with 25 seconds left.
Oregon, they're second. This will be a 30-second timeout.
You know, John has been moved. Every time we talk to him, he's really moved by the story of Jack Trice. The stadium is named after Jack, who is the first black student athlete ever at Iowa State who died from injuries suffered in a game in 1923. This is a letter he wrote, Jack did, from the Curtis Hotel in Minneapolis before his last college game, and it's a letter that will be read by John Haycock to his defense.
Yeah, this was the game's second college game, and he died from the injury sustained in that game. This letter is on the front of every defensive playbook that Iowa State player gets, just as a reminder all the time. And John Haycock says every Friday we look at that letter, we read that letter, we talk about that, said that memory lives in all these Iowa State players. He gets very emotional about it.
Here's Brown on third down. Deep ball, got a receiver open in the end zone, but he was out of bounds. Devin Williams was led out of bounds by that throw from Anthony Brown. Now it's fourth down, and they're going to have to bring on the field goal unit.
So you wonder if the pressure on Brown caused the ball to go awry a little bit, because he had a wide open receiver. Now it really shouldn't have. I mean, that pressure, it came from around behind him, on the side and behind, should not have affected that throw. That should have been an easy touchdown. Boy, that was one I'm sure as soon as he let go, wanted back.
And now a 47-yard attempt. Again, Katleman barely kicked at all this year. It's just his fourth attempt. He's a sophomore, played soccer in high school, didn't even kick a football in competitive action. Kick is good, but I think
delay of game.
Oh yeah, whistle blew. Delay a game. Terrible penalty to have there.
Wow.
I thought Iowa State maybe called a timeout.
I did as well, to try and freeze them. Let's see.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Oregon. Their third and final timeout of the half.
Now Iowa State takes a timeout.
Timeout. Iowa State.
Places in your thing.
Oh, I can imagine. I can't wait. I think you probably already have a book or books, but I don't know if you got one in the Eagles history. I think I'd love that one.
Oh, he got it. Oh,
47 yards out. It's perfect from Katleman.
Put that in the column of freeze didn't work. What a great job. Some high pressure there to get some points right before half.
I mean, it's one thing, too, you nail it about a minute and a half ago, but because of the timeout by Oregon and the timeout by Iowa State, you got to wait. And he does the same thing right down Main Street.
Well, if we need it a little later, we kind of know the distance. That was a 47-yarder. I'd give maybe a couple more yards. It's about it. Not let them have these long drives to hang on to the ball.
We continue to see fly balls on kickoffs. So Purdy in his homecoming grew up in Gilbert, Arizona, with a great first half, a touchdown pass, a touchdown run. And that's the end of the first half here, with Oregon, as you mentioned, getting the ball to start the second half. Iowa State 28, Oregon 17. You're watching the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Welcome back to the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. PlayStation first half stats. How about Iowa State had the ball for over 21 minutes and ran double the plays?
Well, that is something they control so much of it. But Oregon had that big 98-yard drive. I'm going to be real interested again who starts out at quarterback and the first drive here if they can get back in this game.
Let's bring in Quinn Kesnick from the field.
Well, talking to Matt Campbell after that first half performance, you think that they were down by 7. I mean, no punts. As you guys said, 21 minutes of possession, 47 plays. Ever the perfectionist, he was bemoaning the fact that they could not score when they were up against the goal line. Meanwhile, Mario Cristobal, you will see both quarterbacks here in the third quarter as basically the audition for 2021 continues for the Oregon Ducks at the quarterback position.
Yeah, Tyler Shough started the game and did well. Was 3 of 3, led the team down the field for a touchdown, but Anthony Brown came in after that and was in the rest of the way. But again, they had the ball for just 8.5 minutes.
So do we get another mortar kick here? Or they actually boot it downfield?
It's going to be Hudson from the 7-yard line. He's past the 25 and out near the 30. It's going to be Anthony Brown at quarterback for Oregon to start the second half. Grad transfer from Boston College.
Say again, a 3-year starter at Boston College, 40 touchdowns, so he has the experience here. Running in for a touchdown. He's made some very, very accurate throws, and he has an extremely strong arm to get the ball where it needs to go. So he's shown he can do it with his arms and his legs, which he did in the Pac-12 championship game, but from the red zone area, not from the field, like he's getting a much more opportunity today.
Has the 2 rushing scores and 122 passing yards. He'll throw it here on first down. He's got Jalen Red. Oh, and if Red could have broken that tackle, he would have scored. So Isheem Young probably saves a touchdown. As it is, play that goes for 18 yards.
So they're going to start off this half up tempo. Quick little ball fake there on the run, slant. Like I said, he gets it there in a hurry.
Round off play action, rolling out to his right, throwing to the second level. It was juggled and incomplete, as Micah Pittman could not come up with it on the sideline. Oregon won the Pac-12 championship, as you may recall, got into the Pac-12 title game because Washington, which won the division, had COVID issues, so Oregon was the replacement. They were going to play Colorado in Los Angeles just in case they were needed to play USC, which ended up happening. It was announced early that week that they would replace Washington. They ended up beating the Trojans to get here. Had a lot of opt-outs. Certainly had the talent coming into the year to win the Pac-12 championship, as Dye gets about 3 or 4.
Remember, everybody can come back next year. So is this a situation where Anthony Brown getting the time, and if he's shining well, will he want to do something like that?
Wide receiver screen to Red, and Iowa State is all over it. He loses a yard, and we're going to have our first punt of the game by either team.
I'm happy for the families of the punters. You know, they get to see their kid do something. You know,
Tom Snee's parents are watching from Australia. He's from Melbourne. But just to finish up on Oregon, they locked up their head coach too. So you talk about guys that might come back. In terms of the players, their head coach Mario Cristobal signing a 6-year, $27 million deal to stay with the Ducks. That's big. And that lands in the end zone. So long punt, but the net not very good as it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
14,411 lunatics in here.
5 years ago that Mike Golick joined ESPN, did everything from being NFL studio analyst to Monday Night Football, of course, long partnership with Mike Greenberg, Mike and Mike, which went 18 years. You get your son, Mike Golick Jr. now, who's an excellent broadcaster in both radio and calling games. Mike's in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, National Radio Hall of Fame, the USA Wrestling Hall of Fame, as well as we welcome you back to the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. You're in the Pantheon, Mike. ESPN would not be where it is today without your contributions.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave, very much. And I really enjoy working with you finally face-to-face. And I guess what that just shows, I fooled a lot of people over the years. Huh? I fooled them all into giving me all that stuff. I appreciate it. It's been an incredible time. I've loved the time, and I've loved having my family involved. To me, you know, as we see Breece Hall with the rush gaining about 6 yards, that's been the most important thing. While I've made many great friends, it's to be able to have my family so involved. Oh, look at that! I got a cake. The Fiesta Bowl thanks you. Look at that.
That's from Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit.
Spirit getting the shot.
Wow, that is really nice. Thank you very much.
They know, apparently, the way to your heart, Mike. Oh, don't drop it.
I'm good.
Normally I'd ask for a bite, but in the era of COVID, I'm not going to share it now.
Oh, this is fantastic.
But congratulations on a great run, Mike.
I appreciate that very much.
All the things you've done.
I'm very happy. I'm not going to lie, to be back in the booth this year and doing something I love to do so much in calling college games. It's just such a joy to do. Got to do it actually with my son Mike a couple of times, so it's been great. So thank you very much.
They're down and 4. Brock Purdy passes over the middle. Hutchinson able to break a tackle and get the first down.
It's a nice play. And again, I've said this earlier about them. They're very content. 10 yards, get 10.5. Keep it going. That's why they had the ball for over 21 minutes in the first half. I have icing all over my face. It's one thing I'm very proud of is I have passed that on to my family when they've been on air with me. They all eat on camera as well, so I feel very, very proud about that.
Purdy's going to hand it off here to Nwongo, and a nice run on first down, a gain of 9. And here they are back when you started ESPN to where everybody is today.
Wow, that is incredible. A lot more gray hair, a few more people added, with my daughter-in-law Jenny, my future son-in-law Ben in there, as well as our couple of pugs. Wow, everybody's aged well, except I got a lot of gray now, though I am going for the Moses look.
I like it. Yeah, that's good.
It started with the Dos Equis man, trying to get that look, and move to the Moses look.
Hand off, Nwongo gets the first.
Love calling arena games, love calling these college games. I mean, it's just so much fun watching these players play and do their thing.
Well, Des Moines is where you're flying to get to Ames. As Nwongo off the right side picks up about 9 yards to the 45.
I thought yesterday was a great example when we had Zoom calls with these coaches and players and how they all related, Mike, to the connection they had with you. Whether it was the oldest coach or the youngest player we talked to, they all had a story about listening to your show. And I think about me listening to Mike and Mike in my basement working out, or in the car, or in the garage working on the lawnmower, and how you've become such a part of the fabric of the American sports culture, and how you've become such a part of their lives. And we really felt that from the players and coaches yesterday.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Quinn, very much. I mean, that's why I wanted to do things. I just wanted to kind of be that guy that you're just hanging out with, having a conversation. And, hey, here's my family, too. They like to be in the conversation and, just hang out. It really sets things in stone.
Purdy backing up and throwing it to Hutchinson. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Here is a wide receiver screen. Hutchinson, and this time the Ducks wrap him up. McKinley was there first, and Thibodeau downfield.
I said, but I'm sure you had to talk to the players, and he said, yeah, in this day and age, players hear those things, and they asked him questions, and he sat him down, and he was very upfront with all of them, and that's the biggest thing to me is coaches being upfront with your players.
Purdy on 3rd down and long, in trouble, breaks a tackle, and then is tracked down from behind. How about Jordan Scott?
The big man, Jordan Scott, 6'1", 311, 41 starts. That's the most in the Pac-12, and he gets a great push here. They all do. He ends up cleaning up at the end by hustling. Continue to hustle. Break to the ball.
Trailing by 11, but again, Iowa State taking a ton of time off the clock. They've had the ball for almost 27 minutes to about 10 for Oregon. Delgado in traffic that hit an Oregon player. That looked like it hit Mikhail Wright, and it's recovered by Iowa State. Gary Vaughn recovers it after it hit the helmet of Wright.
Well, this is the old spatial awareness. When you're on the return team and you're trying to block a guy and you end up getting away, it glanced right off the back of his helmet. He's worrying about the guy he's supposed to be blocking, losing the sense.
The field was, the ball touched the Oregon player and then was recovered by the kicking team. First down, Iowa State.
Of where you are in relation, because those punt team guys are coming down to where the ball carrier is, so you're naturally going to where the returner is going to be. And that time just too close, caught him off the helmet. Oregon now put in a tough situation again, 3rd turnover.
Near the end of the half that TJ Johnson couldn't handle.
Oregon, they're first.
Boy, Oregon has to use a timeout too, so you burn a timeout as well. So here's what happened towards the end of the first half, and a great kickoff that DJ Johnson had trouble handling. It was recovered by Iowa State's Rory Walling, and then the Cyclones scored a touchdown. Moments ago, Mikhail Wright doesn't see the ball, hits his helmet. Delgado, the return man, was trying to chase after it, but Cyclones recover that ball as well at the 14-yard line, already with an 11-point lead midway through the 3rd quarter. Breece Hall with 24 carries already on the day. This is 25 for the nation's leading rusher. He's down to the 10-yard line. Going to be tough to win the Doak Walker with Travis Etienne and Najee Harris, but still a great year. And Oregon with a great play. Wow, Thibodeau read that perfectly to take down Tariq Milton.
What a great job here. What I like, watch how he stays disciplined. That's what I like the most. Be a disciplined player. Stays home right where he's supposed to be. Doesn't go for the fake, doesn't go the way the flow's going. He says, my teammates will handle that. I'm going to play my responsibility. And he's athletic enough to make the open field tackle.
It's a little curious there with that, jet sweep, little trick play. Things are going so well, just running the ball straight ahead.
I'm with you. They usually don't do a whole lot of fancy stuff, and that time it didn't go well.
So Purdy on 3rd down and 12, in trouble, trying to dump it off. It's overthrown. Jarrell Brock, the intended receiver. So Oregon's defense is off the field. It's 4th down. And Iowa State will have to send on the field goal team. So that's a win for the Ducks.
Without question. Yeah, they've been put in some tough situations, and we've seen them come through a couple of times. Brandon Dorlus, number 97, put the pressure on Brock Purdy that time.
Now to try a field goal here. Looking to extend the lead to 14. 33-yard attempt. And it's good. Hudson on the return. Makes a nice move. Gets past the 35. And scoots on play around the 40-yard line. So Anthony Brown still in the game at quarterback for Oregon. Surveying the field here. And then throws it away as he's chased out of the pocket.
Position to score points. I think this is going to be one of the more important drives of the game for Oregon.
I mean, all the talk about, hey, we want to give Tyler every chance to regain his confidence and get his swagger back.
Well, 3 passes.
And he let him down the field, a touchdown drive. Hasn't been back since. Don't believe there's an injury or anything as Brown zips that one in. Should have been caught, but it came out of the hands of Red. Incomplete.
Watch the end rushers here.
Pressure laid up the middle. The pass is caught by Johnson. He does not get the first down, though. It's 4th and about 2. Will Oregon go for it here?
Tom Snee out there with the punt. 15 punts inside the 20 in his career.
Plenty of time left, too, to go for it here. I mean, they've given Iowa State the short field twice already today. I don't think you want to do it a 3rd time, because they didn't convert on the other 2, as the fair catch is made by Milton at the 11. Campbell led his team to its first ever top spot of the Big 12 regular season standings. They lost in the Big 12 championship game, though, to Oklahoma. If they win 9 games, it will tie the school record. It'll be just the 3rd time ever that Iowa State has accomplished that. They have a 14-point lead. First down on the 11-yard line. Nwangu able to make the first man miss and got positive yards.
Absolutely turned this program around.
Purdy on 2nd down and 7, backpedaling and throws it away.
It's the reality of coaching now. Your name becomes a hot name and people are interested.
Flag down, might be a free play. Oregon looked offside, and Purdy dumps it off. They get the first down with Brock anyway. Out to the 27-yard line.
There were 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Offside on the defense, number 97. Holding on the offense, number 76. Those fouls offset. Replay, 3rd down.
Somebody, the jumper, lined up offsides. And watch the right side. There's a jump on the right side, 76. As he turns the corner, Thibodeau turns the corner, he just grabs and pulls him to the ground.
See how quickly, too, he gets off the ground?
Oh, gosh.
Goes right back into the fray. 3rd down and long. They bring pressure. Purdy gets the pass away deep. Incomplete. There was some contact, but the ball was way overthrown.
Starting to see a little heat from Oregon. Getting the pass rush on the outside or coming up the middle as well. Putting Purdy and Purdy backpedal a little bit when he throws the ball. Not able to set. So the accuracy is off. So this Oregon defense, Dave, if nothing else, they are giving their offense more than a few chances. The offense has got to start taking advantage of it.
An even more interesting decision now for the coaching staff, who to put in a quarterback. Line drive punt. Delgado fields it at the 38-yard line, and good coverage downfield by Iowa State. Landon Akers was there first.
The Cardinals, where Kyler Murray is going to be playing.
Yeah, he's fine. Got hit late last week in the leg, but he's fine. And Dye here on 1st down for Oregon, out to 48-yard line, gain of 5 on the play.
So Tyler Shough is back in, going to get a chance now. Let's see if the hometown kid can lead a comeback.
Second down and 5. Shough hands it off for Dye again here. Grabbed at the ankles by Datrone Young, coming up a couple of yards shy of the line to gain. Here was the quote by offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead about getting Tyler Shough to play with confidence again. He told us yesterday, want him to have that swagger back. He's going to come off the field here, interestingly, on 3rd down and 2. They're sending Anthony Brown back into the game at quarterback.
So you look for a handoff, or you look for a quarterback power, where the receiver, where the running back will lead the quarterback. And he keeps it.
And Brown able to make the necessary man miss and get the first down.
He got the
ball was
strip,
fumbled again at the 43-yard line.
This is so tough, Dave, because I get it. Here's Brown. He's running well, and you just want to keep going, right? But he got the first down. He's got a lot of guys on him, a lot of guys bringing him down, but you want to keep going and keep going. There's part of you that says and they lost the ball. It's Iowa State's ball. He continues to run as he's getting tackled, and your mind says, yes, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep running, I want to get more yards. But there's another part of you, if he looks like he's a little bit of pain coming off the field. See, he makes a nice move here. He's got the first down. Now he's got 1, 2.
Right, go down.
Another 3 guys, so go down there, and they rip the ball out.
And here's a problem. Orion Vance with the recovery, but you couldn't tell. You see the ball there. When did it get knocked out?
So let's see if we can see here. On the play. You can't tell, and they called it a fumble on the field. So unless we can see a replay that shows
different. Under further review, the ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by Iowa State.
And you got to have a shot where you can see the ball clearly in his possession. They could piece it together, but if there isn't a shot of him still in possession of the ball where you can clearly see the ball, they're not going to overturn this.
Right now, all of these we're seeing his back, so we're not going to be able to tell. And you're right.
All right, let's bring in Rogers Redding. Rogers, give me your thoughts.
Dave, you and Mike are right on this. You really can't tell. I think this is one of those situations where whatever is called on the field, that's got to be what it is, because there's no look that says he's down, but you lose sight of the ball, and so I'm sure this will be at least stands.
Should be the fourth turnover, again putting the Oregon defense in a tough spot.
Right, the muffed punt, 2 lost fumbles, and then you also had the muffed kickoff late at the first half. But watch here at the end, right by number 35 for Iowa State.
His knee is down there.
Well, but the ball, see the ball right there?
Yeah.
But again, it was ruled down the field that it was a fumble.
Not going to change. Stands is going to be.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a fumble stands. First down, Iowa State.
So the Cyclones take over on their 43-yard line. Brock Purdy's going to keep it here, and he gets popped at the point of attack by Mace Funes. So a short gain there for the junior quarterback from Gilbert, who went to Perry High School.
Well, Oregon got guys running on and off the field. They are really out of sync here. I thought Iowa State was going to snap that ball, and they could have really caught him. Now they're changing up the play. I'm still ready, thinking Brock Purdy is going to take a shot at some point in this game.
Gives it to Hall here, and tackled by Thibodeau at the 48, a pickup of 4. So big 3rd down here for the Oregon defense. Breece Hall's over 100 rushing yards now. Purdy has thrown for 131 and a touchdown. He'll throw it here on 3rd down. Gets the pass away. Milton with the catch, wrapped up and thrown down. What closing speed. Jamal Hill made the stop.
Jamal Hill, we saw him make one against Sainer, the tight end, by the goal line to save a touchdown on that particular play. Great closing speed, great open field tackle. Honorable mention all Pac-12 this year. He had a couple of interceptions in the Pac-12 championship game against USC. His first career start was this year against Stanford.
Delgado signaling, and the fair catch is made at the Oregon 15.
NBA, boy, with it's so successful in the bubble, and it just seems like a couple weeks later, here we are, starting the season again.
Shough is in and dumps it off to DJ Johnson, who runs through Anthony Johnson's tackle attempt for a pickup of 8 yards.
What can the offense do? What again can the hometown kid Tyler Shough do?
They'll hand it off to Dye, and he is driven back. Mike Rose, who's such a terrific player, leading tackler, All-American, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. He was there first on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And Brown is out there. Shough was out there on the last 2 downs, but it is Brown for 3rd down and a yard. Habibi Likio is in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off here. Habibi Likio's got no shot. We'll see now on 4th down if this is just an automatic punt. It was Hummel that was there along with Vance.
The offense can't get anything going.
A couple guys that aren't the headliners. As here's the punt on 4th down and short. Milton's going to let it go. A couple guys on this Iowa State team that really epitomize the program. On offense, you get Landon Akers in his 6th year. And on defense, Jake Hummel, who's a first-year starter but was a 3-year special teams warrior that finally got a chance to start. Minute gone by here in the 4th. Iowa State up 14 with the ball back. And Purdy will throw. High percentage pass to Allen. And he gets about 9 before he's hit by Nick Pickett.
And Iowa State, I would imagine, though this is an area where you could try something deep, but I would imagine they would keep doing that.
Breece Hall in trouble in the backfield. Noah Sewell was there first, so they go back to the All-American in 2nd and 50% on 3rd down, 7 of 14. Oregon is 0 for 5, by the way, on 3rd down. Purdy to the air. Flag is down. No play. Dead ball foul.
False start on the offense. All 11 players were not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Because, boy, if you can get a first down, take another 4 or 5 minutes off the clock.
Look for about an 11-yard route here.
Purdy lobs it. Got a man. It's caught at the 35-yard line. A first down. Kolar with the catch. Now 12 and a half. I mean, who knows? They may keep it. The first drive of the game went 7.5 minutes. They may keep it for 3 or 4.
You're absolutely right. Great pocket. Had time to step into it because we had seen him throwing off his back leg at times. Nice little inside move. Again, these tight ends are big. They're not overly fast, but when you can make a move like that, you can wall off a defender, and the ball is put as accurately as it is with Brock there. Makes it an easy pitch and catch.
So first down from the 34. Hall tripped up and keeps his balance and powers his way out to the 40-yard line. Hall at some point going to be at the next level.
Yep. And now you're seeing Oregon just taking their linebackers and shooting gaps, trying to make plays behind the line of scrimmage. This is when, unfortunately, things can break against you when you start to become this aggressive if you get the ball past that 2nd level.
It's Hall again. And maybe a yard there, 29th carry. But even if they have to punt, they took about 3 more minutes off the clock because of that first down.
Oh, here they go again.
False start on the offense. Number 55, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That was on Simmons. 3rd down and 8. Iowa State from its 36-yard line. Purdy to the air. In trouble. Steps up. Gets away. Tucks and runs. Thibodeau chasing him down, and he comes. Ooh, I think he got it. The first official stopped short of the line, but then kept going, took another step, and that's enough to move the chains. A huge 3rd down conversion here for Purdy.
This is all Purdy because there's some really good pressure. Another looping stunt. We've seen him get up the middle with their stunts. This time Purdy escapes it. And what a great dive for the first down, as again there's a flag, and again illegal motion.
Mike, if he slides.
False start. 17 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Brock Purdy, how smart was that, Mike? If he slides, seeing Thibodeau bearing down on him, he doesn't get the first down.
Without a doubt.
Because it's where you start the slide. Instead, he dove.
Absolutely right. And that's where you're smart. You see when he runs to the middle of the field, a lot of times when a first down's not about, he feet first slide, give yourself up. This one he knew exactly where he had to go. And let me tell you, Dave, as a defensive player, the frustration level hits you. The last 2 first downs they got by a half a yard and a yard. That is so frustrating as a defense to say we're almost off the field and they just barely make it move the sticks on you.
1st and 15. Breece Hall gets another attempt. Breaks free. Into Oregon territory all the way to the 40-yard line. A 20-yard run for Hall. Well over 100 yards now on the day.
And there it is right off to the right. Watch the little stutter. Finds it and gone. It's just that little stutter. And man, then he puts his foot on the ground and he is gone. Tight end Sainer leading up through the hole again. You have to believe at this point, Dave, this defense, they've been on the field for over 36 minutes. They've got to start getting tired.
From the Oregon 41. Purdy's going to throw. It's juggled and incomplete. They're motioning into the backfield, too. And he's going to be the lead blocker. Nwangu with a broken tackle and knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It's another first down. On clinic on time of possession. They've had it for 37 minutes. First down to the Oregon 30-yard line. And Hall able to get maybe 2 on his 31st. This drive's taken 6 minutes and 20 seconds. They'll run it again here with Hall. And he gets maybe a yard. So a huge third down here for Oregon defense with 7.5 to go. Third down and 7 here for Iowa State on the 27-yard line. They go empty here with Hall leaving the backfield. Purdy over the middle to Allen. And he is tackled short of the line to gain. It's perfect. So that was huge. A drive of 7.5 minutes, and then they get points. Here's Hudson on the return for Oregon, and out across the 30-yard line. Tyler Shough back in at quarterback, and Oregon down 17. Gotta work quickly here. Catch is made by Campmoyer. Shough on 2nd and 6, going to take off here, and he's out to about the 42-yard line. What do you think that drive home will be like for Tyler Shough? The first time his parents, because Oregon hasn't had any fans, first time his parents have seen him play this year, and the first time they've ever seen him start, because he was backing up Justin Herbert, and he's going right home after the game. He lives only about half hour from here.
Yeah, a lot of players usually after these bowl games, 1st and 10 play.
Shough stepping up, and his pass incomplete.
So he made reference to the fact that, and a lot of times how it works after these games, guys will bring, the extra suitcase and they can fly home because everybody's getting a break after this. So since he lives here, he said, I'm driving home with my parents. He said it's going to be like Little League football again. After the game, driving home with my parents. And I said, well, if it's going to be like Little League football, that means your dad's going to be in the front seat critiquing your play. So he goes, I'm just going to tell him when I get in the car, let's not talk about any football.
You never did that to Mike or Jake, right? From what I'm told.
Not as far as you know, Dave.
Shough's pass is caught. That was a good throw to Delgado inside the 40-yard line. Shough, he was at the Fiesta Bowl as a kid 8 years ago, and it was when DeAnthony Thomas took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. He said he didn't even get to his seat. All of a sudden, he was an Oregon fan growing up too, living here in Arizona because his mom lived in Oregon for most of her life. And he missed the best play of the game, he said, by the time he got to his seat. Shough to throw again. In trouble. And is sacked. Will McDonald was there for Iowa State. Over 10 sacks now for him.
Will McDonald, again, this is a 3-man rush. They're just 3 men dropping 8. So he's going to come to the right side of your screen there, do the inside, then spin move to get around, and then just chases down. First team All Big Ten. I mean, what a year he's had.
Shough eludes pressure, long throw. Catch is made by Johnson, but dumped immediately. So a timeout with 4 minutes to go. Well, he's won everything else this year, so not a surprise that our Capital One rewarding performance goes to Breece Hall.
I mean, 32 carries. 32 carries, 129 yards, 4 yards to carry, a couple of touchdowns. Just an absolute workhorse. What a great cap or two, just an incredible year that he's had.
The Fiesta Bowl record for rushing attempts is 35, so he's close to that. I don't know if we'll see him back in the game. Led the country in rushing, also 100-yard games. Now 21 rushing touchdowns, 23 total. Oregon on 3rd down and 6, and Dye is not going to get it. So they have not converted on 3rd down the entire game.
Get that extra man up in the box. You got to be able to play the run and play the pass. That's Isheem Young who's able to do that.
Here's Shough on 4th and 4. His pass is intercepted by Mike Rose. The 5th interception for Rose, who led the Big 12 in that category. And Iowa State going to run about.
Player that leads them on defense, Mike Rose, your backer. Good thing he caught it because it would have hit him square in the face if he didn't.
Athletes who've endured a season like no other, and they are glad it is over. And in Iowa State's case, it wraps up perhaps the best season in school history.
Well, Quint, it's obviously the players, it's the coaches, but how about the training staffs, the head athletic trainers, the assistant trainers, and all the number of hours that they've been working?
Decompress, and it really is more mentally decompression than physically on the season that's been.
It's like they're going to let Nwangu, who is the heart and soul of this team, finish it off at running back. Your timeout, Oregon.
So
they're second.
We've mentioned so many firsts for Iowa State this year, and also for Breece Hall. There could be another one for the incredible season that he's had. And I just learned this yesterday, Dave. I did not know this. Now, he's a consensus All-American. There are 5 basically All-American teams out there that are counted for this. If you make 3 of them, you're considered a consensus All-American. He's made 4 of the 5, so he's a consensus All-American. The 5th, Walter Camp, is not out yet, so we don't know if he made that one. But if he makes that All-American team, he will then be a unanimous All-American. I didn't know there was a difference of consensus and unanimous, but again, as I said, especially for someone like me, I learn something every day. Now, he's already consensus. He's the 4th Iowa State player to be a consensus All-American. If he were to be a unanimous All-American, if he's on that Walter Camp team, he will be the first player in Iowa State history to be a unanimous All-American. Would seem very fitting for Breece Hall to be on that team.
We get the carry here, and again with that great patience, he waits till the hole opens and gets the first. A little bit better. It's cold here, but not Ames cold, so definitely will feel better here for Matt Campbell than it would for a home game. But what a year for Iowa State. Going to tie a school record with 9 wins. It happened in 2000, and it happened in 1906.
Right. And does he know it's coming?
Oh, of course he does.
You got to, right?
Yeah.
So if you knew it was coming.
This isn't his first rodeo. They've been winning a lot of games here at Iowa State.
Would you play into it and just act like you didn't see it and take it, or would you try and see it and run away from it?
You can't run away from it because you'll never live it down. If you try to escape it or avoid it, your players will never let you forget it.
I did the Alamo Bowl and Tom Herman. They got him really good. And now, as it turns out, it was his last game at Texas, as he's not there anymore, but got him really good with the bucket.
Nwangu on 2nd down and 7 will come up short. Oregon is out of time.
Congrats to all, and enjoy the break that's about to come up.
Nwangu on 3rd down and short, able to get the first down.
Do it. The best position formation in all of football is a victory formation. So Matt Campbell's about to get the best bath there is in all of football.
Well, we played that clip at the top of the telecast where Matt Campbell, when he took the job, talked about building the program and saying, we just don't want to be the laughingstock of college football. And there was a time where Iowa State was in that conversation. But now they're one of the best programs. I mean, they're a top 10 team. Top 10 team. They beat Oklahoma and Texas this year. They've made it to the Big 12 title game for the first time ever. They make it into a New Year's Six bowl game for the first time ever. And they win it by the final score of 34-17, defeating the Pac-12 champion Oregon Ducks.
It's always, Dave, it's a bittersweet moment because at the end of every football season everywhere, the team is never the same. New players come in and older players leave. So there's a lot of happiness, a lot of joy right now, especially after the season that everybody just had right now. A lot of handshakes, a lot of hugging out.
Final score, Iowa State 34, Oregon 17. Congratulations to the Cyclones, PlayStation Fiesta Bowl champions. Something we saw here today.
Well, first, let's tip our caps to Oregon. You know, the way that season started for them, all their opt-outs, they're the youngest team in the nation. They get a chance in the Pac-12 championship game, and they win. So they deserve their spot here and look to the future as the youngest team in the nation. So high hopes for them. For Iowa State, listen, we have said it the entire game. Matt Campbell has built an incredible program. The winningest class here. They have a lot to look forward to. They're going to lose some players, but he has got others coming in. He is building something here. So they're a physical team. They let you know when you're in a ball game. Congrats to them on one of their greatest seasons ever in the best senior class that has ever attended Iowa State.
Congrats to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Legendary career at ESPN. Been a class act. Great working with you all year, Mike. For Mike, for Quint Kesnick, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, where Iowa State beats Oregon 34-17.